What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Dave B. You watching Davion TV, where we go beyond the everyday bullshit that people be consuming on a day-to-day basis. You know what I'm saying? We breaking down some astrology. So we got, Cancer, the moon in Cancer, sun in Sag, but the moon is finna go into Leo pretty soon, I'm pretty sure, yeah. So, when we talk about this transition, so with the moon in Cancer, Jupiter's actually exalted in Cancer. So this is kind of a Jupiterian vibe altogether, but on the end of, kind of in conjunction, a misunderstanding. So the moon wants to be comfortable. The sun wants to expand, you know what I'm saying? And you know the difference between those two energies. One is trying to get to a new space, and the other one is trying to feel comfortable. So, one way to utilize this energy is to expand, like basically getting comfortable with the things you need to expand on, versus the other end of the energy, which is getting comfortable with escapism, you know what I'm saying? Avoiding those responsibilities that you need to take care of. And it's going to come in real hot because, we got the opposition of Pluto. So there's already things we need to have been put in transformation towards when it comes to everything that we got in our Capricorn, or things that we got in our Capricorn house that are going to kind of determine which end of the spectrum we're on. One thing one thing to peep is that, those two signs aren't the only ones in cardinal energies. You know what I'm saying? We still got the North Node squaring off with this in Aries, along with Chiron. So again, there's a learning mechanism going on between our mistakes and what we know is necessary for our spiritual path. But then on the other end of that is, we also got, Libra. You know what I'm saying? We got the South Node in Libra. And I believe we got Venus there. So Venus in there, and Venus is approaching the South Node. So when it comes to our love and support and things of that nature, these things might start looking like old things that we may have mastered. Like the South Node is kind of like the moon on steroids, basically, you know what I'm saying? Because it's extreme comfort energy that could look like, things that you may have participated in a past life. But when we talk about the transit, that's more the natal South Node. The natal South Node to give you hints on things that you may have mastered in a previous lifetime, and I don't want you to get too giddy off of that, because just because you got South Node energies don't mean you're the master of that energy. It's just in a past life you might have participated more frequently in that energy than other energies. Therefore, you came here with a certain awareness and level on that energy that allowed you to kind of do what you, to do things in a different way that might look more sufficient than others, you know what I'm saying, who might struggle with that energy or not be as aware. So, or it can make you extremely lazy on a certain energy just based upon you feeling as though you've been there, done that. You know what I'm saying? It just kind of all depends on how you play out the energies. But when we talk about the transit in South Node, we're all experiencing things pertaining to our relationships. And the way we relate, we're looking at those things and we're seeing where we, it's kind of like if you're not in a position, because see, the way it is like you have to balance these two energies, right? So the North Node is that uncomfortable energy, that energy that you don't know anything about. That's where you have to be making, new strides, new attempts at seeing new things and experiencing new things in that area of life. So wherever you got Aries at, that's kind of where you've been forging the way, and it's looking like your spiritual path. It's looking like what you need to do or be in the individual end. Since we're dealing with Aries, the area of life you need to be an individual in order for your South Node to work for you. And what I mean by that is the South Node is supposed to be coming in as basically like a comfort zone, but one that you can kind of participate in without having to feel like you're taking steps back. The South Node is really a comfort zone for you to be able to, it's like if you think of you making new grounds, like let's say, you know what I'm saying, what's a good example? It's kind of like you making progress in a game. The South Node is kind of like your ability to pause the game and save where you left off. You know what I'm saying? That sense of comfort you can get in a video game when you're playing it and you can press the pause button and everything kind of stops for a moment and you can kind of save your progress. And it's kind of like, you know what I'm saying, or maybe adjust your settings and things of that nature. So the South Node should be used as kind of like a pit stop to kind of gather yourself and get your energies prepared to jump back into that North Node energy, which is highly uncomfortable. A lot of things changing and you actually making new ground on that. So in a video game analogy, it would be you hitting a new level. You what I'm saying? Whenever you hit a new level, it might have a little learning curve. You might need to retry it a couple times. You might need to hit a checkpoint so that you don't lose all your progress and things of that nature. Some games don't even do that. Some games start you all the way from the top. You know what I'm saying? But not to get too deep into the analogy. But that's just a way for you to understand kind of how the South Node and North Node need to operate with each other. You need to be making progress with your North Node. That's the point. That's the key. But the South Node is there to keep you kind of to keep you sane, to keep you on the journey and on the path without too much turbulence or, you know, too much chaos. Because that's the thing, like, you know, some people might want to jump all the way into their North Node, especially with certain energies that they might have that, like, let's say you were born with sextiles and things of that nature to your North Node. So, you know, your natal chart is kind of designed for you to want to participate full on in that energy. But see, if you're unprepared, or, you know, you just try to do too much too fast, you might overshoot the gun. You know what I'm saying? You might overestimate or underestimate the challenge, and it might put you in a compromising situation in which, you know, you're just not prepared for, which, you know, you can always bounce back from. But some things be so scarring to us, or traumatizing, I should say, that it might make you kind of feel like, yo, I don't ever want to jump into that energy again, or it can make you highly you know, anxious about that type of energy whenever it pops back up. So it might kind of scar you for life. It kind of might, you know, put a blemish on your perspective, that every time you jump in something like that, you can't just naturally go with the flow. It's always going to be something that kind of feels extreme, you know what I'm saying, very dramatic, and it might, you know, bring back memories, and it might take you years to actually get back to a neutral space. Because anytime we're going through an experience, we need to keep a level head to make sure that we're not, you know, reacting or responding to too many things or too crazily that, you know, that it forces us to be you know, our experiences to kind of be inaccurate or just more than what they need to be. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like the exaggeration energy. And that's, you know, ironic I brought that up during Sag season, because that's one of the things, you know, Sag energy brings extremes. Now with the moon sliding into Leo later on, you know, this is where extremes can blow up in your face. So you need to be highly aware of where you might be going extreme in these next couple days, especially coming off of this full moon. Now the full moon energy is basically, you know what I'm saying, it's pretty much died down because we about 2 signs out. But at this point, still, things, there could be little reminiscences of things that were seeds that you may have planted, or the results of seeds that were already sprouting that you may not have seen. That I'm not going to say, well, yeah, it's not really a comeback to bite you energy. It's more like blow up in your face. That's how Leo get down. Leo just blow up in your face. You'll just wake up and all of a sudden everybody calling your phone like, hey, did you say this? Like, did this happen? Boom, boom, boom. And you don't, you know what I'm saying, being caught in that type of situation sometimes, I mean, it's not the most fun, you know what I'm saying, because it'll force that Sagittarius energy to kind of have to come back down to earth and deal with certain things that it might not want to deal with at the moment, versus the good seeds that you may have planted where now you're getting attention for something that, you know, your wisdom or your ability to travel. You know what I'm saying? You're getting attention now for your expansion. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of the angle you want to be in, versus being getting attention for, you know, your escapism or something you wasn't taking care of when it was time to take care of, something that now you're being looked at as maybe childish or irresponsible, which could hurt your status in the long run. Remember, everything is a progression. So I like to look at this season, you know, you can, you know, it's good to be in the moment and in the energies, but also I like to look at what might be, what's coming up, so that we can understand how one thing leads to another. Because to be honest with you, when I look at life, I see that as the #1 reason why a lot of people end up in fucked up situations. Their inability to see how one thing can lead to another. And you don't always be right, but the more you practice kind of having foresight, the more you're able, in foresight, you could look at that as like, you know, idea, problem, solution, and conclusion. Your ability to assess a circumstance. You know what I'm saying? The 4 energy is looking at the 3, right? The 1 is your individual self. 2 is something outside of you. You relating to something. So now there's 2 instances of it. And once you step outside of that, now we have a circumference. We have a third person. Whenever you're playing a third person video game, is you looking at your character's back and surroundings. So that gives you an idea of what third dimensional energy even is. It's looking at the whole surroundings, the circumstance. But you as the player is actually the fourth perspective. You're actually in fourth person. You as the player looking and able to judge the circumstance that your character is in. That's the fourth dimensional concept. So as a fourth dimensional, you know what I'm saying? When you start talking about the fourth dimension and things of that nature, your ability to have foresight is your ability to be able to put together an idea, the individual, what it is, the problem, you know what I'm saying? What you're relating to and its relation to each other. Naturally, it's going to create a problem because one individual, what's right for them might not be right for the other individual. You know what I'm saying? Just giving you an idea of why 2 represents a potential problem. And not all problems are necessarily bad. It might be a good problem or good friction in that case. And then the solution be what you can conclude from looking at the situation with both characters in it as a third person. But 4 allows you to actually make a conclusion. And from that conclusion, now you can make a step. Now you can make movement, which is 5. 5 getting into the emotions and feelings of things. Now you have a reaction towards it, or you feel a certain way about it, which now with the 4 and 5 put together, you have action to take. You have attention to be put somewhere and things in that nature. That's like your star power, your ability to actually do something now. And that's kind of like what we've been talking about, being in the 6th dimension. You know what I'm saying? Being in the 6th dimension, or being in a space now where we have to be 6th dimensional beings. That's why everybody's damn near a celebrity in their mind. But only real spirits who know how to put these energies together, know how to do it the best way. But see, you know, some people stumble and fall into success and things of that nature. Shout out to them. I don't advocate for being a hater. You know what I'm saying? If you see somebody shining, like, they might not be as aware of why they got into that position, but they got into that position doing something, you know what I'm saying? And if you're an individual who's doing nothing, then there's not really anything you should be saying about an individual who's doing something, even if it's negative. You know what I mean? You can have your opinions and stuff like that, but, you know, I don't know, these days opinions running real thin. It's like, what you got an opinion for? You know what I'm saying? I think life is more about participating. So people who got more opinions than participation, it's like, you know, I don't respect that as much as I respect the person who might be fucking up, but they doing something every day. You know what I'm saying? They getting up and trying something out. They got up and made their circumstance something. You know what I'm saying? Because you think about it, everybody can hate on, like, I ain't gonna get too deep into this, but everybody can hate on an individual for what they put out on social media. But, you know, it's a bunch of outside looking in energy. The person who's actually doing it, who's getting all that attention, they got energy. You know what I'm saying? They got power on their side, you know, and God responds to that. God don't respond to the person locked in their room tweeting all day about somebody else's business or what somebody else is doing. God probably like looking down and laughing at an individual who just making it their purpose to look at somebody else and judge them. You know, that's when you start to get in very dangerous territory spiritually, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I'd be saying in my opinion. And I mean, that's facts. You know what I'm saying? So fucking opinion. That's facts. You know, you get into a very uncharted waters, very dangerous space to be in when you find yourself on the end of energy of pointing at other people and judging them for what they do. Because you always got to point that gun back at yourself and say, what am I doing? And what do I be doing that I wouldn't want somebody pointing out and judging me for? Because that's what you manifest. You know what I'm saying? What you put out into the world on some level is going to come back to you. And it's not a matter of the you know, the fairy tale, textbook, what is it? Cookie cutter, karma definition, you know, all karma and da. So I got to good things, put things on it. No, it's what's on your heart. If you ain't got good things on your heart, no matter what good you do in the world that you think is good, it's coming from a nasty place if your heart nasty. So you got to think on those kind of levels, you know what I'm saying? Whenever you're participating in the world and with things, you know, people be thinking that, you know, like the good guy scenario, you know, oh, I'm a good guy, so I deserve good. Nah. You really got nasty shit on your heart. You really got evil in your eyes. And you know what I'm saying? You think nobody can see it, but we smell it. We can smell it on you. We can smell it on you. You know what I'm saying? So don't ever get that shit confused. But getting back to the energies, when we talking about the moon and Leo, the expression of wisdom as well, reacting and responding to what we can get attention for. So don't be trying to expand on something that you're just trying to get attention for that might not be morally right or, you know, and when I say morally right, I'm not talking about a universal right or wrong. I'm talking about, you know, everybody got their own moral system, their ninth house, that's their lifestyle. So think of what's morally right for you is things that fit alongside your lifestyle. Don't try to do too much that's outside of your lifestyle that you're trying to cultivate for yourself. For instance, if you know you want a very simple, clean life, that is, you know what I'm saying, a little quiet life, you know, small family, house in the cut type vibe, why is you going around making a lot of noise or putting yourself in circumstances that could land you in a compromising situation, like going to jail, like robbing and stealing, or like hanging around individuals who do these things or want to live a fast life? Now, a lot of times opposite attract. We find ourselves in situations where we attract different people who got vastly different energies, but that's kind of like a conflict of your third house. You got to start thinking, like, if this the type of life I want to live, why do I got these type of people around me? How I'm gonna live this kind of way if this the type of people I got around me? And when you look at the people you got around me, it's a direct reflection of the lifestyle that you're living. Even if you don't do the same things they do, on some level, they're a like-minded individual that you are entertaining. And you got to start asking yourself certain deeper questions, like, okay, even if I don't do everything my homeboy does, at what point do you draw the line, and at what point can you justify you hanging around that person? And see, I know, like, we all got homies that do what they do, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes you got to ask questions about your lifestyle, your morals, and things of that nature. Because again, this, like, if you're home, but let's say, like, I mean, let's make it real, right? Let's make it real. If you in a situation, right, you a stand-up guy, but you friends with a dude who abuses women, like, you know what I'm saying, beats on women. Like, yeah, you could sit there and come up with any justification you want as to why you still hang with bruh, but at what point do you draw the line? At what point do you morally step in and be like, and I'm not saying to step in and check him, I'm just saying check yourself first and separate yourself. And again, check, you know what I'm saying? If that's, because we talking about morals, we talking about lifestyle. And if you got people in your, and this is the ninth, third house situation, your lifestyle on some level is going to reflect who you be around and your surroundings. Because on a spiritual level, that's the thoughts and feelings that you frequent. So if you got agreeable energies with a dude who, you know, be on some bullshit, on what level do you agree with that bullshit that you allow it to still be in your space? You know what I'm saying? And it could be the smallest form, because it could be a small little thing you agree with on a subconscious level that you don't realize. It allows you to give grace to an individual who, it allows you to give grace. And whatever you giving grace to, you got to ask yourself, okay, well, why are you giving a pass to that? You know what I'm saying? And again, I mean, it should get deep. You know what I'm saying? We can go as deep as, we can go deep as the ocean blue. You know what I'm saying? Shoot. But, like, you know what I'm saying? It's just something to think about, you know, food for thought type shit. Because, you know, we coming into a time, like, I mean, think about it. Venus approaching the South Node. So right now it's going to be very tempting. It's going to be, it's going to be very tempting to get with or harmonize or support energy that looks like the past or looks like familiarity. And familiarity is not always good for growth. And that's what even the in conjunction between Cancer and Sagittarius might put you through, where certain things that you might feel comfortable with that you have to start tricking yourself to become uncomfortable with, so that you can start to attract or manifest or be around or participate with the things that you supposed to be involved with, based upon what you say you want to do, what you project yourself doing, you know what I'm saying, in your mind's eye, what you got your vision on, who you are. Because again, don't lose sight of this year. This year's year number 7, getting to who you are, peeling back layers. That's what we've been doing each new moon and each full moon, peeling back layers to get to you, who you truly are. And it's supposed to look like your higher self. Your higher self is supposed to be you. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no higher self. You know what I'm saying? The higher self concept is a cop-out to keep being a demon. Oh yeah, I'm trying to be my higher self. I'm on a path to be, you projected it as something separate from you. So now you can throw your hands up, and whenever you make a mistake, instead of hold yourself accountable and say, damn, now I must not be that yet. I must need to work on myself. You know what I'm saying? I must need to do something different. A lot of times that separating you from your higher self type vibe, that be like, oh, I must need to do something different. That puts you in a space where you don't have to necessarily change your ways. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to necessarily change your ways, looking at it as something outside of you. Oh, yeah, I'm trying to be my higher self. I'm trying to be, you know what I'm saying? Versus I am my higher self. So anything that I do, that's on me. So that's who you really are. And we got to start looking at the negative things that we do as that too, and start taking those hits on the chin. Like, oh, yeah, I do still participate in that. I still do think like that. I still do got to kill that, because that's who I am right now. And if I want to be better, I got to change. You know what I'm saying? Type concepts. And that's all the types of things we need to be having our mind on during the fall season, because we finna go into Capricorn. So that's finna be the death of certain things. You know what I'm saying? That's when we need to confront it, the initiation of it, come up with a blueprint now that we can now operate a new lifestyle or construct a new lifestyle based upon what we've learned and been enlightened of during this season, Sag. Don't play with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Don't play with that shit, because again, we going into a year 8. That's spending a whole lot of time in whatever plateau you created for yourself or downfall you created for yourself. The 7 is either pointing up or it's inverted, pointing down, demon or angelic. So if you're not on some higher self shit, you about to spend a whole lot of time in whatever it is that you've been emulating as a lifestyle and whoever you've defined yourself as. Because you can sit all day and say who you are, but who you are is always going to be reflected in your 1 through 6. Your individual self, what you've chosen to relate to, the circumstance you created for yourself, the circumference, your thought as an individual of that circumstance and your judgment of it, how you felt about it, and what you chose to act on from that conclusion. That's always going to show you who you really are. And again, you either going to look like you getting messages from a higher place, aka more higher octave thoughts. And I'm not saying being a saint. You know, I'm not saying going around, oh, I got to live my life a certain way and I can't participate with the world. I'm talking about higher thoughts, because again, higher thoughts is just, are you having thoughts that's coming from higher chakras? Are you having thoughts that's more intelligent, ones that look more positive, want more bright, look like you trying to change the world for the better, look like you trying to bring people together? Or are you on some heavy separation shit? And ain't nothing wrong with being on some heavy separation shit, some demonic shit, because sometimes, hey, you gotta hit that shit. You gotta participate in that to either get right with what you got going on, to set the record straight, or to be a representation of God as an example to show others what line not to cross, or what things could look like had we not chosen a better path. But we going into a year 8, which is deep psychology. It's like you got to understand that whatever you've been setting yourself up as an individual, you finna spend a whole lot of time in it. So if you don't like who you are at this point, you got to do some extreme changes. But, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I like to do things in doses, even, you know what I'm saying? Even if you are feeling like you late, do things in moderation still, because, you know, going to the extreme thing, you got to change. You can make all those changes and realize you was on the right path. You know, it just tricked you because of how you emotionally reacting to everything right now. And see, that's the type of extremes that the moon and Leo can bring you to, because it's going to make you pay attention to a lot of different things, aspects of you not getting attention, your self-esteem, and where you might want attention. And you're going to be looking on how to expand on that, how to go to the extreme on that. So if you're feeling good, if you're feeling yourself, you're going to extremely express your wisdom and what you know and what you've been through, your experiences. If you feel if you feel negative about things, you might shine that light on others, but it might be so hot that it start to burn others. You know what I'm saying? You might be trying to burn others based upon roasting or something like that. And you over here making it a joke and laughing, but people can feel the pain in your voice. Like, you're not even making a joke at this point. You just trying to hurt somebody's feelings because you hurt. Hurt people. Don't be that type of person right now. And again, if you choose to be, hey, it's on you. You know what I'm saying? No blood on my hands. But it's just like, hey, you know what I'm saying? But you got to know what you're doing. If you're going to be on that type of time, please at least have a plan. Please at least know what you're doing and have an intention and say, hey, well, I'm frustrated. I'm going to get this shit off, though, because, hey, Leo's here to express. So at the end of the day, now is not a time to hold nothing in. Matter of fact, I would say if you have any goals and things of that nature, you need to go hard. You need to go hard right now because we got the fire energies. It's this sun in Sag, moon and Mars in Sag too, trining the moon. So, you know, the gift to passionately express your wisdom. You know what I'm saying? It's damn near preacher energy. You know what I'm saying? You could really be heard and felt at this time based upon Venus also making a double sextile with Leo, the moon. So opportunities for you to be supported based upon how you feel. Your feelings to be supported and things of that nature. Also opportunity for your actions to be supported and your passions to be supported as well. If they're wise, if they look like something that is expansive, you know, if they look like something that other people want to participate in, that looks like it's working. Now, if you doing negative things and your lifestyle ain't put together or you want some escapism shit, that's going to be very apparent at this time. And people not going to want to support that. People actually going to, they might support you in a way of wanting to get you help, or wanting to separate from you so that you can realize you need some help. You know what I'm saying? People wanting to help right now. You know, we get in the holiday season witchcraft too. So everybody want to help. Everybody want to be jolly. Everybody want to be charitable because they, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's that time. You know, it's that time a year. People want to be charitable on the low. So, you know, you might get grace that you don't even deserve. So if you are a demon and stuff like that, beware of that, because that will come back to bite you low key, you know what I'm saying, on the low. You know what I'm saying? When you get grace and you're not really supposed to, it's just an energy or transit we going over that you feel like you can get over on. But here's the thing with Sagittarius energy. All shortcuts lead to getting the short end of the stick. So keep that in mind. All shortcuts are going to, when you do things in the world, it produces the same thing esoterically. You try to take shortcuts, you get short ends of the stick. You know what I'm saying? You put in the work, you get rewarded for the work you put in. You know what I'm saying? It's just how it be working a lot of times. I mean, of course, so every now and then something might happen that might not look like, oh, hey, look, it looked like I might have actually got over. But I don't know, man. Weeks, years down the line, months down the line, you know, decades down the line, you never know. I mean, look at a lot of these celebrities getting caught with cases and stuff like that. These be cases from the 90s and 80s and shit like that. Like, damn, I bet you ain't see that coming that morning. You know what I'm saying? I bet you ain't think you was gonna wake up to a lawsuit from the 90s and shit like that, and you was living your best life. You was living it like it was no tomorrow. It was several tomorrows before you got that karma back type shit. You feel me? Like, that's crazy. I mean, it's not crazy. Shout out to the people who, you know what I'm saying, actually able to settle some shit, you know what I'm saying? But it's crazy. It's crazy. That's why you got to be mindful, bro. You can't be out here mindless. Be mindful about what you doing, who you doing it with, why you doing it. Why you at Diddy house having a freak off? Come on, man. Have some sense. You know what I'm saying? What Michael Jackson said, get some help. That's just funny. You need some help. Get some help. You know what I'm saying? Serious face. Get some help. You know what I'm saying? People will be on some crazy shit. But yeah, don't get caught at the freak off. Come on, go home. Go home. Go home. You know what I'm saying? You got kids, man. Go home. Don't be at the freak off. You know what I'm saying? Even if you don't got a kid, man, you got better things to do. You got a purpose. God need you on a mission, not to freak off. Oh man, come on. But back to what back to the transits, man. So the moon in Leo, you know, also trying to Mercury too. So thoughts to be supported too, even though it's more like you might be saying gibberish, but people might just want to make you feel good, so they'll act like they feel you on that. You know what I'm saying? If you're coming from a good place, you know what I'm saying? People are going to feel it more than they're going to get it. And you have to be able to maneuver that. You know what I'm saying? If you don't naturally got those energies, you might not really know where to start. You might be trying to make too much sense right now, or you might be highly frustrated at everybody else who seems to not make sense. And it's like, what the fuck? How am I supposed to operate? Especially if you're like a Virgo or Gemini, it might be extremely frustration just to get an idea across, or get to a topic or subject, because you're dealing with a lot of Jupiterian energy at the moment. You're dealing with a lot of energy that's kind of like here, there, everywhere, or you know, not as reliable or sturdy as earth energy or transition. You know what I'm saying? Ran out of storage and shit, so I had to delete some other stuff. But getting back to what I was saying, you know, with the energies, I forgot what energy I was on actually, but for the most part, I think I was talking about Mercury. You know what I'm saying? Trying to communicate might be a little frustrating right now. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, you know, for those who usually are misunderstood or not, you know, usually have a hard time trying to get their point across, it's a good time for you. You know what I'm saying? To express yourself. And really, we got to stop being so afraid to be misunderstood too. You know what I'm saying? We got to stop being so afraid to be misunderstood. Sometimes what needs to be said just needs to be said, period. You know what I'm saying? And how it's interpreted and stuff like that really ain't for you to stress too much, you know, because some people will overthink something before they communicate it to the point where it loses its essence and stuff like that. You be trying to make sense out of it on a one-on-one, but you forget part of relating and communicating is putting it out, where it don't have to be your responsibility to make it make sense in somebody else's mind. Like now, and it is on some level, like your ability to make something make sense, at least for you, you know what I'm saying, is first and foremost. But as a communicator, it is part of your responsibility to make something understandable or digestible. But, you know, you don't have to take on the pressure to try to figure it all out in your head before you express it. A lot of times we need to express more, allow others to come up with their own mind about what it is that we're putting out. You know, once it's out, it's out. And then they can respond to it. And how they respond to it, now y'all building on something. Now it's an actual conversation. Now it exists in reality. When we just be sitting there having the conversation in our head, one-sided, that's exactly what it is, one-sided. And you can't really get a full, you'll never get a full understanding of even what you got to say. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times people just stay in that space. And it's like, you know what I'm saying, we need to get that off. But anyway, this energy, the moon is also going to be trining Chiron and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the opportunity to feel a new way about mistakes. This could be highly enlightening. Really, this is a grand fire trine going on. You know what I'm saying? That we can utilize. And that's kind of what I was getting at. We can utilize this grand fire trine to really get us out of a rut. Because we might have been in a mental rut lately, just based upon the energies, you know, going through Scorpio and things of that nature. Even though that was a while ago, still Scorpio energies might still be on us, because we had to deal with a lot of transformation. So we had to deal with a lot of things that was stagnant. We had to deal with a lot of still water and stuff like that. So you might have been, if you planted the right seeds, you was already in transmutation mode. So inside the season, you've been kind of moving and shaking. But see, if you've been putting in the work, you've been moving and shaking, it's takeoff time now. It's a different mindset. Now you're trained to actually see and peep the different patterns, and you like, oh yeah, I can take off now. Now, if you have been kind of bullshitting, or you just ain't really peep where to move to, this could be a time where you start to see a little bit more of what you could do, the potential of what you could do and what you could be. Now, don't get too excited. If you haven't been putting in work, you're not going to get a big reward just by having the inspiration on your mind. You're going to have to figure out a way for you to actually make progress. But for the most part, you know what I'm saying, you can at least feel good knowing that you peeping game and knowing that, okay, I'm on a path and I'm putting something together. Now, if you already been doing your thing, this would be a great time to, again, allow the healing to continue. Allow yourself to expand into this new space. And see, the moon in Leo also is like kind of building on character a bit. You know what I'm saying? The moon in Leo being the character, being the face, is like we're going to be reacting and responding to that attention and stuff like that. So if you use your mind to kind of do some magical thinking and to see yourself as that character, at the pinnacle of whatever it is that you want to be, you could do some real cold magic real quick, you know what I'm saying, and actually start to express yourself as if you are that character, and you know you know what I'm saying, you are that character based upon your wisdom and your experiences from what you have been. And it's not so much a fake it till you make it, it's more so using magic to embody the energy that you're looking to manifest, you know what I'm saying? And that's really what we're supposed to be doing in the first place. We're supposed to be embodying, you know what I'm saying, embody what it is that you're trying to bring into existence. Nobody can know but you. Nobody knows but you. Nobody knows. You know what I'm saying? So you got to actually take that first step and be that initiator. Otherwise, it's going to stay unknown until somebody else jumps into a form and receives something similar from a similar space and decide to do it before you. Now you hurt. Now you want to hurt somebody. Now you want to hurt yourself. Don't take that route. Go ahead, take the initiative. You know what I'm saying? Don't take that route. Take the initiative. Go ahead, get up and express something. Something that you know, something that you've been through as an experience. And boom, by default, Chiron gonna make a lot more sense. Chiron actually gonna be a lot more healing. Give a lot more space for you to be who you are and actually feel better about it. You know what I'm saying? And not just have to go through the motions, not just have to, you know what I'm saying, just, you know, deal. A lot of times Chiron be in situations where it convinces the individual they just got to deal with it. But Chiron's supposed to heal, not always deal. Shout out to Saint. I think he made a video talking about healing and dealing. You know, but real shit, you know, it's two different things. I even made a video about it a long, long time ago, talking about the difference between, you know, or it was more so talking about going through something, dealing with something versus healing it. You know what I'm saying? You know, people be going through it for eons and shit like that. And it's like, God damn, when you gonna finish? When you gonna wrap it up and come to a conclusion and do better? You know what I'm saying? When you gonna do that? Don't be that person who, you know what I'm saying, 80 years old, still going through the same shit. I don't know, man. Life, I ain't even live. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. That don't seem very fulfilling to me. That don't seem like a life I would ever want to live or be around anybody who emulate that type of energy and things of that nature. So, and I pay attention. I pay attention to what people be on. I pay attention to things people don't even know I pay attention to. You know what I'm saying? Even the way their demeanor, you know, their tone of voice, way you carry yourself, way you know what I'm saying? Small things, which is, you know, things that we normally pay attention to, but I take it deep. But, you know what I'm saying? That's just, it is what it is, you know. But getting back to what I was saying, yeah, man, I just was working overnight, so I'm like, need to lay down. But yeah, for the most part, so yeah, that moon energy again, we're gonna have that grand fire trine, so it's gonna be a lot of energies that we can use as gifts to really get us on not only our spiritual path, but get us on the right track, get us back in the game. You know what I'm saying? Get not back in the game, and you really should already be in the game. If you're already in the game, this will get us where we supposed to go. You know what I'm saying? This is the energy that's supposed to get you going. It's supposed to get you moving. This is the most waxing feeling waning moon that I've felt this year. You know what I'm saying? This feels like a lot of waxing energy on the low. But see, it's predicated upon how you set yourself up or what you chose to experience during the new moon. If you didn't, during the waxing moon, if you wasn't putting yourself in experiences and taking yourself mentally to new places, you're not even going to have the first inkling as to where you need to put your energy into. So a lot of energy will be wasted. And that's when you're going to feel the effects of the waning moon and feel like, damn, I don't feel like doing nothing. This energy is more like, okay, it's the waning moon. Things are shedding, but I see exactly what it is I'm doing. So every energy I'm participating in is deliberate. It's not no miscellaneous type shit where I'm just doing things because I feel like I'm running out of time, or I feel like I'm gonna be late. In fact, I've been taking my time to the T. You know what I'm saying? I've been taking the most time I've ever taken to do everything. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to music, taking my time. When it comes to these classes, taking my time and making sure everything right, taking my time. You know, taking my time. And, you know, but that's a different conversation and things of that nature. But yeah, so let's see, moon in conjunct Saturn. So misunderstanding how our character can build, or where our character can build from, or what our character can build on, or what we can build that can get attention potentially. We don't really know if our dreams are going to get attention, but that's not for us to decipher right now. We don't, that's not even a question you should have. It should be a no-brainer. If I create something that's uniquely me and genuine and came from my heart, it's going to shine in whatever way it's supposed to shine, and I got to allow it. That's how you're supposed to look at that type of shit. Now, that might be small. It might feel small, but, you know, what they, like, one thing about it, when something simple be the most powerful things in the world. The simple things be the most powerful things in the world. Small things that, again, a seed can grow into a huge-ass tree that bears fruit. You got to look at yourself like that, too. Like a simple thought form like that could go so far in ways you don't even realize. Just you being able to peep what it's actually saying, the phrase is actually saying. You'll be a person of very little words, but every word you speak be impactful. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. But yeah, so, you know, it's going to seem, it might seem small, but it leads to a better place. Now, yeah, you know what I'm saying? My bad. You know, but for the most part, yeah, just making sure I got everything. Moon in conjunct Neptune, you know what I'm saying? Misunderstanding how to feel about our dreams and stuff like that. So misunderstanding what dreams to even put on center stage. You know what I'm saying? So again, you might express a certain side of your character that don't need to be on stage at the moment based upon you being lost into a delusion still. You know what I'm saying? That's leading you to either be an escapist mentally or avoid responsibilities, the same thing that kept you from doing whatever it is that you was trying to attempt now. You know what I'm saying? You could have been trying to go to school, but the way your teacher was, you couldn't understand them. So it's like, instead of getting a new teacher, you just decide to hell with the program altogether. But it's like it's like you chose to just abandon that shit versus a person who, you know, they might have had difficulty in the class, but, you know, they didn't throw the whole curriculum away. They actually chose to just get a new teacher and things of that nature. So, you know, one side's an extreme on the end of being negative or separating, you know. And again, sometimes it do be like that. Sometimes you do got to throw the whole program away. But I ain't gonna lie, I forgot what I was actually, my actual point for going in that tangent. But yeah, anyway. I think it was just misunderstanding the you know, dream, or the self to express, or the dream to express, or communicating in general, you know. But anyway, so we also got the moon squaring Uranus and Jupiter. So learning how to learning how to act on stability, learning how to act on, or learning how to feel. It's kind of like this. Uranus, our individuality, and Jupiter, right? In Taurus. So we want to be stable in those areas. Those are earth energy. Those are earth energies, and we're trying to we've been trying to work it out on that end. We've been in the process. You know, you probably made a lot of progress depending on what kind of seeds you planted from when, you know, from earlier this year, you know, that you can actually see, especially when Jupiter went into Taurus. I mean, yeah, Jupiter went into Taurus. So that was around, I forgot. I can look at the planner, but it's in the other room, you know what I'm saying? But when that energy went in there till now, you should have at least made some kind of stride or see some potential somewhere. So with that type of energy, it's like you got to keep on track. You got to you know, but it's a square. It's like you're learning how to express it's like learning how to express yourself in a way that is still profitable, or learning how to express yourself in a way that look like it is stable. You know, we're trying to actually present ourselves now. We're trying to present ourselves, but, you know, it ain't got to look all, because it's still within the Sagittarius energy. Sagittarius itself in conjuncts this energy. So it's a misunderstanding already. But the moon in Leo, so it's kind of, it might cause a little frustration, because it's like you might want to look a certain way, but might just still not be able to afford it. You know what I'm saying? So you might have to find some kind of middle ground, or some way to, or learn how to actually value the right things to put on the center stage. You know what I'm saying? You might not need to put you know, you might be scared to even present yourself because you ain't got the right shoes or you ain't got the right fit. But it's like right now, it's not about that. It's about, again, finding value in the real shit, in the individual shit, even value in change and how you've changed as a person, and then putting that on the center stage in order to be seen for that, instead of being like, oh, damn, I don't even want to express myself because I ain't got the right shoes. I can't afford the right shirt and the right hat. I don't got the right look or the right whatever it is that's physical and stuff like that, or third dimensional. I don't got the right one of those yeah, so I don't feel comfortable putting myself out there and stuff like that. But like I was saying earlier, we need to express these things. We need to let it be known who we really are so that we can set ourselves up for this 8 energy that we're finna experience, going deeper into that, and also setting us up for the next stage, which is Capricorn, or the next energy, which is Capricorn season. So again, getting serious again, creating blueprints, initiating death, you know what I'm saying? But also initiating something practical that you could actually build on, you know what I'm saying? Which is leading to what? Community. And you don't want your place in community, in whatever community you're in, to be muddled based upon you either having very afraid energies, you not being sure of yourself, you slacking on expression, you not showing up as yourself as much as you should right now. Because right now it's like, y'all, we should all be showing ourselves like crazy right now. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we going through a very low-key shift. You know what I'm saying? Like one before this was a lot more apparent, but this one's like low-key, I feel as though, you know, where people are kind of finding the confidence to follow through with a lot of things that they might have had a great idea with at the start. But one thing too you need to accept about ideas that you have is that you're supposed to go through a phase of maybe not sure of it. And I'm not saying stay there. I'm just saying it's natural for you, a person with an idea, to go through many different phases in pursuit of a purpose or throughout the production of a project. So like, for instance, you might have an album or something like that. And I'm speaking from experience. You're going to be making those songs for an extended period of time. You're going to get tired of those songs that you're making. You're going to feel like, God damn, someone please just play something else. You're going to have those moments where there's nothing you can do but sit back and allow, you know what I'm saying, what you put out into the world, do what it does, and you to actually receive that. So, you know, I say all that just to say, you know, stop putting the wrong type of pressure on yourself. You really just need to put pressure on yourself to do it, to put it out, to do something. The rest of the pressure on how people might feel, or, you know, you tripping in certain areas or needing more time in other areas and things of that nature, is like, it's not no time to really waste. You can't really just sit there and be like, oh, like I'm so afraid, or I'm so into being perfect that I can't just put something out, or I can't just put something together. And it's not about being sloppy, quick, and again, shortcut. It's just about being real about yourself and understanding yourself. You know what I'm saying? And in that way, you can be more accurate in the way you express yourself. And being more accurate in the way you express yourself, other people are not only able to hold you accountable where you're supposed to be held accountable, they can also respect you and acknowledge you in those spaces because you put it out into reality. It exists now. When shit is just up in the air in your mind because you had a bunch of good thoughts about it, don't make it good. Just because you had a lot of good feelings about it, don't make it positive. It's not until you actually put it out in the world and you start to change certain things, you know what I'm saying, for yourself, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, I need to lay the fuck down, man. I need to lay the fuck down. I'm finna make a post talking about the Each One Teach One. The registration's open till this upcoming Tuesday. So if you're still trying to get into class, let me know. Send an email at 717conference.info@gmail.com or email me at d.brownjr795@gmail.com. Other than that, you know, if you're trying to book a personal reading, you can hit me up on those too as well. And yeah, it's a little bit more. Or well, nah, yeah. That's it for now. That's it for now. Let me go ahead and lay the fuck down, man. I know I'm fading in and out. Much love. I'll catch you on the next one. Wait, hold on. Did I hit all the planets? I gotta at least hit all the planets. Yeah, we talked about Aries. We talked about Taurus, Gemini passed. Cancer. We talked about Leo. We talked about Yeah, Virgo. Oh yeah, Lilith is in Leo too. In between Leo and Virgo, I don't know. Lilith been going back and forth too. So again, adding to what I was saying, just with more emphasis to fight through that embarrassment or that potential darkness you might feel, and take that power for yourself, because you might, you know, it might just be unfamiliar to you, which is why you're running from it. But it's what you need to lean into in order to get the full magnitude of what's going on right now, the shift and things of that nature. You got to experience it. You can't run from it. So, you know, it's real. Yeah, we talked about, yeah, that was Cancer, Virgo, Leo, Virgo, Libra. Yeah, talked about Sag. And then, what's after Libra? Scorpio. And we got Sag, we got, Capricorn with Pluto. You know, I kind of was explaining the transformation. And what else? Yeah, that's it, man. That's it. Oh yeah, Scorpio, Sag. I know I'm tripping. Sag. Yeah, we talked about Sag. We talked about Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. Yeah, that's about it, man. I'm finna lay the fuck down. Much love. Catch you on the next one. Peace.